news that their head coach had to suffer the death of his young child. We're told he is here today. Quite where he will be, whether he will be by the touchline or up in an executive box, only time will tell. But what is sure is this is going to be a very emotional few minutes ahead. The club had already planned to commemorate remembrance, which is on the horizon. There will be a minute's silence, and then there will be a time of reflection for Liam Manning and his family's loss. Both these sides come into the game in good form. Leeds United looking to go top of the table after their win in midweek against Watford. And Bristol City have had 2 away games, a win at Middlesbrough and then a draw at Stoke in midweek, when they came from behind, 2-0 down they were at half-time. A chance for Leeds United to go top of the table, a chance for Bristol City to show just how good they might, a chance for the home fans to show their love to Liam Manning and his family after the awful news about the death of his son. Since Manning took a leave of absence earlier this month, City have played both their matches away from home. But now the Bristol City fans get the chance to pay their respects. There he is. He has returned to the touchline. Quite what is going through Liam Manning's mind at the moment. Alongside him, Chris Hogg, who filled in for the last 2 games. One of his best mates, Liam Manning, returned to training on Thursday. Has had a lot of people coming up to him since he arrived back, consoling him. He issued a statement last night saying that life is precious, enjoy the good times, stick together in the tough times, but most importantly, make the most of the time that we have. James Linnington, our referee today, set to manage 2 moments of reflection before kick-off. First, it will be a minute's silence for remembrance. November the 11th. We will see it around the grounds in the upcoming weeks. Both the sets of players came out and warmed up beforehand.
Ladies and gentlemen,
but now we will go into a minute's silence for remembrance.
2 commemorative wreaths have been laid by Jason Knight and Pascal Struick, which is a joint mark of respect from both Bristol City and Leeds United. Can we now ask all true football fans if you are able to be upstanding in silence for the ode of remembrance, which will be followed by the last post played by Newton Peters. After the last post, we'll observe a period of silence and reflection as a mark of respect to the service personnel who have given the ultimate sacrifice for others, which will end on the referee's whistle. Now the ode of remembrance, read by Brigadier Neville Holmes.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
And now the moment that will be very difficult, I'm sure, for Liam Manning, as Ashton Gate attempts to put a collective arm around the shoulders of their head coach. And of course his poor family, our thoughts are with them all.
And condolences to our head coach, Liam Manning, Fran and Isaac, in memory of Joe Manning.
Fly high, Theo, is the message. So now we have to try and get on with a game of football. And what an uplifting distraction we potentially have on our hands. Bristol City fans just starting to wonder how good their team might be. They'll know a little more in a couple of hours. Only 4 points off the playoff places at the moment, but more than that, if they can live with Leeds United today in their current form, then they might just have something going on after all. Joel Pirot, who is keeping his place in the team. Just 2 changes for Leeds United today. Naki Wells, no surprise that he starts again after his 2 goals in midweek. 2 changes for them as well. Well, Ashton Gate has been a difficult place for Bristol City in recent seasons, but they are currently in the middle of their best unbeaten run for a decade, since the time when Steve Cockerell was in charge. All the talk pre-match about Liam Manning. He will want now the talk to be about his team. They have a chance to do something special here this afternoon. They had to make 2 changes to their side because Joe Williams is out suspended. He picked up 5 yellow cards. Marcus McGuane has come in for his debut. Bristol City on the attack here, and the ball is played into the penalty area, and Bird it was who was arriving and not too far away from it.
Well, I have to say it's excellent quality from Bristol City down that right-hand side. Great ball in. Bird there, but Bogle's there, Rodin's there, trying to put pressure on, just put him off, done enough to nullify the threat there.
Yeah, just to complete that team news that we're unable to bring you prior to the kickoff of this game. Joe Williams is out, and he's replaced by Marcus McGuane, who makes his full debut today. He was with Liam Manning at Oxford. Yo Hirakawa comes in for Anis Mehmeti. And in terms of Leeds United, they knew that Junior Firpo was out with suspension. Sam Byron comes in for him. Largi Ramazani is going to be out for a few weeks. Dan James replaces him today out on the flanks. Joshua Gilavogi is on the bench today for Leeds. We could see a debut for him. He's been signed as a free agent this week after being released by Mainz. Obviously a big blow, isn't it, for Leeds United to lose Ramazani, but Dan James just coming back from injury and the ideal replacement.
Good afternoon, Guy. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I've got to say, spot on, isn't it? You know, it's not a bad player to come in and fill that. I think Ramazani's been very good. You know, energetic. He's been productive, making things happen. But Dan James, you know, ever present on his day, unplayable.
Well, these 2 sides provided plenty of entertainment in midweek. A phenomenal amount of shots on target, more than 50 between them in their respective matches. A win for Leeds United, only just 2-1. And a draw for Bristol City, despite the fact they had 18 attempts before half-time. 10 corners, and they were still 2-0 down. You were at the game, weren't you, Chris?
Yeah, I was at the game in Bristol City. They were outstanding. I think Stoke got the 2 goals against the run of play.
This is Nonto playing it towards the near post, fed by Dan James. Bogle tries to make some progress down this right-hand side. 3 yellow shirts and the little cluster there, but Bristol City able to clear.
But this is 2 teams coming into this game on very good form, and I think it's a statement to the rest of the league if there can be a victor today.
Yeah, Bristol City have threatened, haven't they, season after season. It's a terrific ball through the centre. Hirakawa just didn't quite have the pace to get away. Mohamed's returned to the starting lineup. He was given a rest in midweek. He's played most of the game since he arrived. But such are the demands of the Championship. He sat on the bench without coming off in that draw against Stoke.
Well, it's an excellent little ball through, isn't it? He's always asking that question, Hirakawa. You know, I think just couldn't have the legs to get away from Byram, who seen the danger, got across and nullified that threat there.
Rothwell with a header forward. McNally goes back to his goalkeeper, Max O'Leary, who continues to be an ever-present, as he was for the whole of last season. Liam Manning comes back to take charge of Bristol City, having watched from home the last 2 games. Chris Hogg, his best mate, took charge, the assistant head coach. They go back a long way. They were players at Ipswich, coached at Ipswich as well, and Liam Manning tempted Chris Hogg to leave Newcastle United. He was working in their academy to join him at MK Dons, and then they went to Oxford, and now here at Bristol City, hoping that in the horrible adversity something positive might come out of this season for him and for Bristol City. No Firpo today at left back. That is a big blow for them, not just defensively, but he gives them so much going forward as well, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. But I have to say, I'm a big fan of Sam Byram. You know, I think he's had his injuries with his hamstrings, but defensively, I think a little bit more sound than Firpo, and he gets up, he has that energy to get round the outside, the inside of it will be Wilfred Nonto in front of him today. Yes, his first start in the Championship this season, Sam Byram. In fact, it's the first change of the back 4 this season for Leeds United. That stability went due to the fact that he picked up a yellow card, did Firpo, and Jayden Bogle was pretty close to picking up a 5th yellow as well against Watford. Otherwise he might have been suspended. Bristol City coming forward again with Naki Wells. Just held up by Rondon. Heavy touch, then invites the challenge from Bogle. Wells was so sharp in midweek. I think on the form that Naki Wells is on there, I'm surprised he never just took the shot on with his left. You know, he'd got in behind, great little touch, in his stride. That's the question of the goalkeeper. McCrory held up by his opposite number 2, Jayden Bogle. Good start this though by Bristol City, and the crowd really sensing this is a big afternoon for their club. Real litmus test. Ross McCrory, who continues to do a good job at left back. Prefer to play on the other side, but Campering's injury means that he gets his opportunity here. First corner of the afternoon goes the way of the home side. Yeah, Ross McCrory, you know, I think he's one of them. Another player struggled with injury, but very, very consistent when he gets to those levels. Just a technically very good player. You're talking about positioning, with and without the ball, understands the game, communicates well. So can he bring and influence this game down that left-hand side for Bristol City today? Hirakawa is going to take it. The referee just checking that the ball was just hanging over the line. Not convinced it is, but the ref thought it was. That's all that matters. In towards the near post it goes. Header was won by McGuane, but behind for a goal kick. Ilian Meslier, who's certainly put some distance between that moment at the Stadium of Light a few weeks ago Made a really good save against Watford in the narrow win in midweek. That actually saved 2 points, but will not get as much publicity as the 2 points that were squandered. Such is the life of a goalkeeper. Tanner playing it forward. Bristol City want a free kick. Ref says play on. Aronson. Rothwell. Leeds unbeaten away from home this season. The only defeat they've had in the Championship has been at home to Burnley. Rothwell again. Byram ahead of him. Peru goes into the penalty area. Could be offside here, the former Swansea man. Indeed he is.
It's excellent build-up play from Leeds, really patient, getting that confidence, those short passes in. Now the way to pass in behind the run from Peru, yeah, he went a little bit early, but yeah, he has a vision there. But it's a great defensive line from Bristol City as well. So important. Viner, he knew, stood his ground, he has that understanding with that defensive unit that he's in line, hands up, and rightfully so offside.
Well, Leeds have got a terrific record against Bristol City in recent times. So good, in fact, that Gary Monk was the last Leeds manager to taste defeat to the Robins. Leeds United have won the last six, I should say, meetings between these two sides. Willie Gnonto scored the only goal when these two sides met last season here in February. Aronson gives the ball away. I said it's a big afternoon for Bristol City. It's in fact the first time they played a team currently in the top 5 all season. And here at home, first time they played a team in the top 10. Chris Hogg did the media duties yesterday, understandably, and will do the media duties again today, but he was saying that they will not sacrifice their attacking passing principles despite the fact they're playing such a tough team here this afternoon. Gnonto into Aronson. Gnonto again. Running at Sykes. Bogle. Tanaka saw a man unmarked at the back post. It was Byram. Rothwell teases it out to the far side, but too much on it.
Well, it's fantastic from both teams, isn't it? Leeds just probing, aren't they? Great little ball in from Tanaka, found his man. But again, Bristol City organised, defensively sound, in position, and that's something you've already alluded to. I think Bristol City, without the ball, they still in the front, on the front foot, in the faces of Leeds, trying to make it very difficult for them to play through the thirds. And then off the back of that, it's what they do in that transition, and that's where they've been getting a lot of success. No matter who they've been up against, they've had that identity.
The Leeds manager Daniel Farke has had to do a lot of firefighting in recent months. Lost so many players during the summer. He's got injuries as well now, and it's remarkable, really, that they could be going top of the table, if only for a couple of hours or so this afternoon.
It's been so impressive, isn't it, from Leeds? You look at the injuries they've got, the players that left in the window, and still they're very competitive, and they're just getting over the line. They know how to get results, this team. They've got that experience. Results, this team. They've got that experience.
To win it back for Leeds United. Rothwell is there as well. Gnonto. A lot of yellow shirts going forward. A little bit wide too. Ball comes in and Peru will try and get ahead on it, and Rothwell with the volley, just wide of the target. Daniel Farker wants goals and assists from Joe Rothwell. He was very close to scoring his first goal for Leeds United.
It was a massive opportunity, wasn't it? Great little ball in, defended well, little touch to it, but when this comes down, Rothwell, he has to be hitting the target here. Knows exactly where the goal is. A little bit fortunate that the clearance comes his way, but yeah, you have to ask a question of the goalkeeper there. I thought the ball from Willie Gnonto as well just put a little bit too much on it from Dan James. A lot of room for error there. Dan James has asked that question in behind, has to find his feet.
Here's Gnonto. Bristol City giving the ball up cheaply. Dan James goes into the penalty area. 3 in yellow, but Gnonto couldn't get the ball in, and Sykes clears it long towards the halfway line.
It's excellent from Bristol City here. Look at that, McCrory in the face of Bogle, forcing it back. Now, in saying that, Leeds are very comfortable. They'll be patient. They'll keep the ball. Melee always wants it. He comes out like an outfield player. But look at that, Bristol City. How aggressive is that? That 3-1.
Well, that's exactly what Chris Hogg was talking about yesterday. They believe in the way they play, and they won't change here. They've had some really good results. They're unbeaten in 6. Admittedly, 4 of those have been draws. But they're developing some confidence as Peru just shakes his head there, just a couple of yards ahead of him. Forward it goes again quickly. Amazing first half for Bristol City at Stoke. As I said, they had 18 attempts in that first half and somehow found themselves 2-0 down. And then Naki Wells came out at the start of the second half. Bang, bang, it was 2-2. And in the end, at the full-time whistle, they looked really disappointed that they'd only picked up a point. Coming to the day in 10th place in the Championship. Strout looking for the long ball first time round and then just goes short to Gnonto. Gnonto back out on the left-hand side. He played on the right-hand side in midweek against Watford, but Ramazani's injury means that Gnonto can go out to his favoured left and Dan James plays down the right. James has only just returned from an injury. Just his second game on Tuesday night as a substitute in that win against Watford. Bogle. Peru on to Gnonto. Byron makes a run over on the far side. Peru again. Rothwell. Only Swansea City have had more possession in the Championship this season. Leeds United certainly have scored a lot more goals than the Welsh side with theirs. Here's Bogle. James. He's going to run at McCrory, is he? No, just teases it in. Away by McNally. James again. McCrory with the, well, it was a tackle, not a foul.
Yeah, I think it'd be a very soft one if it's given. Leeds are using the ball very well, moving it around with pace. I think there is a coming together with James and McCrory. Is it enough for a foul? Yeah, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah, if it's given, I don't think there's too much of an argument there, but I think McCrory should go onto it a little bit quicker and try and release Bristol City and attack down that left-hand side.
Picked up by Jason Knight. Options left and right for the Irish international. Sykes gets another opportunity. Can he get the cross in? Wells at the near post. It'll be a corner.
Yeah, fantastic from Sykes. Asking the question, got a little bit fortunate there. You're looking at that quality, great defending as well to stop the cross from coming in, but picking up second balls, and that's what you want. I think Liam Manning, he wants his team to be on the front foot. Any loose balls, especially in that attacking area, can they be first to it? There they were.
Well, McNally scored a wonderful header in the last game here. That was from open play. Can he get on the end of this? Meslier came for it, or thought about coming for it, but it was dealt with in the end by Rodon. And it's Bogle up towards halfway. Perot will chase, but Bristol City have the ball under control. Tests will come thick and fast for them in the weeks ahead. Leeds United here this afternoon. The next home game is against Sheffield United.
Hirakawa causing all sorts of problems, isn't he? End product, ball coming in, that's what you want. Defended well in the end.
Well, they're going to need the aerial presence of Strauch here as Hirakawa prepares to take this corner. Max Bird, number 6, unmarked at the moment on the edge of the penalty area. No real distance on it. Can't feed it back to a couple of red shirts on the edge. In by Bird. Will it break? Oh, the volley is just wide. Well, it was a spectacular effort. Luke McNally, who scored with his head in recent times. Bristol City, again, asking questions of Leeds United.
Well, McNally does fantastically well, doesn't he? I've got to say, I'm not convinced by the marking from a corner kick from Leeds. It's half and half, zonal. But there's so many Bristol City shots free, and it does fall. That free ball falls to a red shot there. They have to be switched on there.
And here's another opportunity for Bristol City. The shot took a deflection. Hirakawa it was. Bristol City quickly on the front foot again after a Leeds United goal kick.
Meslier was rooted here, wasn't it? The deflection just took it away. Hirakawa to the left-hand side of Mellier's goal.
Corner will have to be taken again. The game ebbing and flowing, and it's an opportunity for Bristol City now to try and put some pressure on Leeds United. Wasn't the best of corners last time out, it has to be said.
But look at this guy. Look at the zonal marking. Look at the free shots at the edge of the box.
Again, not the best of corners. Tanner. Hirakawa's available on that far side. Delivered in towards McNally, but easy for the Leeds United goalkeeper, and quickly away as well to Nonto, trying to use his pace, and Max Bird just threw a gentle arm out there to make sure that Nonto wasn't going to get past him.
I think Willie Nonto has to look to open the legs up there and turn it into a running race with Bird down that right-hand side. I don't know why he's slowed down and allowed Bird to get his body across.
McGuane getting a touch. Must have been pretty surprised to be called up today. He's made just one appearance all season since he arrived from Oxford United. Played under Liam Manning. Was signed during the summer. But he comes in because Joe Williams picked up a 5th yellow card in midweek in that game against Stoke. Bristol City, incidentally, have already had 2 players suspended this season. Mark Sykes was another who's quickly to 5 yellows, and Leeds United have 2 on 4 at the moment. I mentioned Jayden Bogle, who was slightly fortunate maybe not to pick up a 5th in midweek. Joe Rodon is another one walking the tightrope.
I think that's very much down to the identity of the team. If it's aggressive on the front foot, you know, can you go and make a contact, upset the opposition?
Bird with the ball. Leeds United wanted the flag, they didn't get it. It'll break for Sykes over on that far side. Wells has got himself back on his feet. Sykes in towards Hirakawa. A shot will come in, it's deflected, and Meslier will prevent a corner happening.
Well, this is great quality, and Hirakawa with a little chest. I'm surprised that Bird doesn't take the shot on straight away there. He actually waits for the ball to come down. Maybe it's a little bit high, but I still think with the quality that Bird has, just strike it towards goal. Try and get a connection there.
McGuane under pressure from Rothwell. In fact, it was Aronson. Oh, it's given away cheaply. This is Peru. Forward to Nonto. Too much on it, though. Well, it was a great opportunity for Leeds United there, and Willie Nonto will be frustrated he didn't get the delivery that would have opened up a chance for him to break the deadlock here. McCrory. Away by Strauch.
Yeah, it's a great little break, isn't it? McCrory on that left-hand side coming in. Not a bad ball. Had to be defended. What a big opportunity that is for Perot to put Willie Nonto in there. No, just the way to pass. Has to be better quality.
Well, the irony is, some people think that Joel Peru's best position is the number 10, isn't it? They're feeding those little passes through, as we saw in a recent game against Sheffield United. I think when he teed up Matteo Joseph, didn't he, late on with a lovely pass? He dropped into the number 10 position, but yeah, that was a real opening for Leeds United there.
Yeah, very technical player, isn't he? Perot, I have to agree with that. I think that number 10, he links up very, very well. But I think that front four, they have the understanding. If it's Nonto that's going to be the point man, or Dan James, even Aronson, can he step up when Perot comes deep?
McCrory. Nice body swerve by the Scottish international. McGuane. Sykes goes and fetches the ball over on the far side. Nonto. Too many options down this right-hand side for him. He comes in field. Rothwell. Tanaka, been terrific in recent weeks, along with Joe Rothwell in the centre of that Leeds United midfield. Here is Rothwell, who's on loan from Bournemouth, was part of the Southampton team that got promoted, although he was an unused sub, ironically, in the game against Leeds United at Wembley back in May. Tanaka again. Patient this from Leeds United.
Very organised from Bristol City. Look, without the ball, everyone knows their position. What they have to do is shuffle across. Leeds just have to pick up the pace of that pass if they're going to infiltrate this unit at the minute. Again, everyone's coming across. They just have to move it. Even just miss a man out when you're switching it across play.
Rodon. Bogle playing it in field, lovely touch. Aronson is in here, fed by Peru, and it was James whose ball into the area creates the corner, and that was the thing you were talking about. Slow, and then suddenly quick.
It's a great bit of quality though, isn't it, from Peru, that just to set up Aronson there, and then like you say, it's end product as well. Balls coming into the box, it had to be defended well, but like you say, little Dan James had to get something on it, didn't he?
Well, Joe Rothwell created the first goal from a corner for Leeds United this season. That was against Sheffield United. It was Strauch who arrived at the near post. I'm sure Bristol City will be wise to that. It goes to that area. Away by Zach Viner for Bristol City. Bogle. James isn't going to win too many headers against the Bristol City backline, although it was Mark Sykes who was coming back on that occasion to help his team.
Yeah, more and more often all teams are bringing all players back for corner kicks when, like you say, there is a clearance, there's no one kind of stretching the pitch, so it's coming straight back. You're having to defend again. Leeds do the exact same. It's happened on a couple of occasions in the other half.
Strout waits, the skipper. Can Rothwell find him? Away by McCrory, and the shot will come in from Aronson. Over the crossbar it goes. Been in good form in recent times, in fact scored early on against Watford, 7 minutes. Turned out to be the winner, the second goal for Leeds United, and well, it was at least a shot on goal, but neither keeper has been busy so far in this game.
Yeah, they haven't. You know, I think looking at the quality that Aronson has, he had a lot of time there to get it down, just waiting for it. The connection was good, but it was always rising.
Yeah, Daniel Farke's side were so quickly out of the blocks against Watford. You feared for the Hornets, 2-0 down in 7 minutes. Over the top it goes. Wells just feeds it on to Hirakawa. Bird inside the penalty area at the moment. Wells. Sykes wins another corner for Bristol City.
Yeah, again, great quality from Bristol City, a real understanding with Naki Wells and Hirakawa. Just keeping it, but like you say, Sykes is always there. End product again had to be defended, and that's what you want, that energy down that right-hand side.
I feel like there's quite a lot of shadow boxing at the moment between the two sides in the opening half hour. Hirakawa with the corner. Thumbs up from him. All the Bristol City players unmarked at the moment. Towards Sykes, but away by Leeds United.
It's the best place for the header, the defensive header, to go there, because if they do try and clear the area, any contact at the edge of the box centrally, there's 3 Bristol City players there that's picking up the second ball, taking the shot on straight away. That is something that I guess when you're set up zonal, half and half, you're playing the game, you have to solve the problems. Players have to take responsibility there from a Leeds point of view to say, right, okay, let's just mark our men. Let's not give anyone an opportunity.
Naki Wells wins a throw in. It's all credit to Bristol City's players, really, after the emotion pre-match that we saw, the return of their manager to the touchline. That emotional tribute to his son. It would have been difficult for them. They would have known what was coming. Liam Manning, incidentally, returned to the club in terms of the training ground on Thursday. Spent some time with the players Thursday and Friday. Just craving a little bit of normality again. Can be relatively pleased with the way his team have set about their toughest game of the season so far. Quickly taken free kick. Hirakawa. Bird in the centre. Wells as well. Hirakawa again. Finding Jason Knight. Slides it in towards Bird, I think it was, but Leeds United able to get that clear. You can just feel the crowd ready to explode, can't you? The U's and the R's every time there's a ball that just goes into a dangerous area. Yeah,
Hirakawa, he's an exciting player, especially in those 1v1 scenarios. A little bit of quality, I mean magical quality there, that just opens up that space, but just that final pass let them down from Sykes.
Well, these supporters have had a rotten few years, it has to be said, here at Ashton Gate. The home record has been so poor. They lost 8 last season. In fact, in the last 4 seasons, they've lost 35 matches in the Championship at Ashton Gate. And that's something that just can't continue if they really want to push into the top half of the table and at least be involved in the playoff picture. And that's why this run that they're on at the moment, unbeaten this season, unbeaten in 10 here at Ashton Gate, is the best for more than a decade, and suggests that Liam Manning and his squad are maybe going to reverse recent history. This is ominous, very ominous, isn't it? I think that's the end of McCrory.
That's what it looks like, and you can tell by the body language of the player. You know, I think he has had a few issues. He's getting some game time. He's looking really, really good as well. So, yeah, I'm gutted for him.
Well, Bristol City down to 10 men at the moment. They're already without Cam Pring due to injury, so they'll be down to their third choice left back. They'll have to do a bit of juggling, you feel. Here's Nonto. Can they make the best use of the extra man? In towards the back post, and Bogle it was arriving for Leeds United. Side netting only.
Well, it's an excellent opportunity, isn't it? You're looking at that, fantastic that he's there in the first place, but when this ball comes in, Byram, I've got to say, what a position he's found himself in there. He's just, all the paces on the cross, he's just got to try and hit the target. He's got a lot of distance to make up. You know, I'm disappointed that he's not hit the target there. In fairness, he's watching it, he's read the flight of the ball well, has to work the goalkeeper. Well,
you could argue that Ross McCrory might have been the man marking him at that right-hand side. So a change for Bristol City, and Cal Naismith. You could hardly have a better player, I don't think, in terms of a utility man who can play in so many different positions. But it's a headache here for Liam Manning to maybe rearrange his defence. It'd be interesting to see whether he fits in at left back or it is a change. But poor old Ross McCrory, you marked it, Chris. He had that illness, didn't he? A rare infection that kept him out for such a long period of time. But in recent months, he's been back, he's been fit, he's returned to the Scotland squad, and everything was so positive. And you saw the frustration with the way he threw away his shin pads. Players know, don't they, immediately?
No, they do. And like you say, he's the ultimate professional. Does everything right, trains well, you know, eats well. And it's just one of them, when it happens, you know yourself, and you're thinking, well, what else can I do?
Haven't quite got the delivery right, have they, so far from these corners? Thought about going short there. Mark Sykes has just come across from the right-hand side. Hirakawa will deliver. A lot more red shirts in the 6-yard box now compared to the previous ones when they've been sort of floating near the edge. It's fizzed in towards that near post. Oh, it's a mistake. And there could be a counter-attack here. Bristol City have got nobody back. Dan James is quick. He's got Nonto in support. But they made a right hash of that. And Leeds United given a really presentable opportunity. And the one man you'd probably want on a counter-attack with no defenders back was that man, Dan James.
Well, it just shows you there that Dan James, he's not 100%, is he? Because that's his game, getting on the back end of the defensive unit.
Well, appeals for a handball here against Naismith. Here's Dan James's effort.
Yeah, he just never had the legs to get away from McGuane there, didn't he? And then the weight of pass to Wilfred Nonto wasn't good enough. I can't see that being a penalty either. You know, I think it's too close. It's a sliding action, so that the hand's in a natural position when he's trying to cut it back.
Pascal Struijk just having a word with the referee. It's Nonto going for goal! First save of the afternoon. Max O'Leary flying to his left-hand side.
It's an excellent save from O'Leary, isn't it? Wilfred Nonto taking onto that right hand, onto his right-hand side, just opening up the goal. A lot of bodies in front. You know straight away from his first touch what he wants to do. Ask the question, you know, it's at a good height as well. Could be a contact. It's an excellent save from O'Leary there. Movement on the ball. I think it was going wide there just from that angle.
The Leeds supporters made the long trip down for this lunchtime kickoff, singing the name of Willie Nonto. Rothwell again. More elevation, Rondon with the header. And having waited, 36 minutes for an effort on goal, we have 2 inside 60 seconds, but that comfortable by comparison for Max O'Leary.
You're looking at Rodon there, he's watching it all the way in, isn't he? You're thinking, you know, he took it into the ground, I think just took the pace off the ball. You know, can he just kind of hit the target on the full there? It definitely caused O'Leary a few problems.
Now, the point you make about Dan James is a really good one. He's not fully fit. He's played just 2 games since August, and he was only on for a few minutes, really. He was a late sub on Tuesday night. Came on in the 72nd minute to replace Nonto. But a fit and firing Dan James wouldn't be passing to anybody in that situation, would he? Yeah,
you're not catching him, are you? You know, I think if there's anyone in the league that you don't want to give a full half to run into, it's Dan James, but he just couldn't get away. He never really had that. And controlling the ball as well, he can run just as fast with the ball at his feet as well, but there you could just see he was lacking.
Here is Nonto. James to his right-hand side, going through the middle now, and it's fed towards Dan James. Dan James for Leeds United. Really good save by O'Leary. Just unable to dink it over the goalkeeper.
Well, I've got to say, it was fantastic quality, wasn't it? From Nonto, the way to pass, the run from Dan James, and you can see what he was trying. Just a little dink. I think he's took a little bit of a connection as well with O'Leary there. But it's fantastic. This break, look at the way to pass. The run is perfect. He's just tried to dink it. Oh, he's took a sore one. But a fantastic goalkeeping as well. O'Leary seen the danger, came out. And I've got to say, I think, was it Willie Nonto that took the yellow card? Because he has come in late there.
Yeah, just confirmation. It is Willie Nonto who's picked up a yellow card, and incidentally that takes him on to 4. So he will be walking close to a suspension as well in the next game for Leeds United, which is Plymouth next weekend, where Wayne Rooney will get a fantastic reception from the Ellen Road faithful. But Dan James has had a couple of opportunities, hasn't he? Wouldn't be playing this afternoon, you feel, had Ramazani not picked up that injury in midweek, and I'm sure the perfect plan for Daniel Farke would be to have brought Daniel James gently back as a substitute.
100%, but you're looking at that there, you know, he's looked very, very sharp, and saying that just not quite at the levels that we know that he can produce. He usually got into that one a little bit quicker. He has that quality. He can be clinical in those situations. So you can tell by his body language as well, he's definitely feeling the game at the minute.
Daniel Farke having to juggle things currently with the injuries that he's got. Bird to take this free kick. Zach Viner has gone forward and Millier has come for it, and rarely see a goalkeeper come that far from their line, do you? And it's quite refreshing as well.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. You know, I think it just kind of breeds confidence into that defensive unit. When your goalkeeper comes out, he's dominant, he's good with his hands, and then he can start an attack off as well that Melee has done on a few occasions this half.
The other option for Daniel Farke, if he hadn't played Dan James, or if indeed James doesn't last the 90 minutes, which probably will be the more likely option, Manor Solomon is on the bench. He's another player who's just getting back from injury. By his own admission, he's not on top of his game yet. He came on as the sub for Ramazani, incidentally, on Tuesday night after just 14 minutes. It was a bit of a difficult evening for him, but he's a player who's trying to pick up the pieces again. He's on loan from Tottenham Hotspur. He had all sorts of injury problems last season as well. McGuane had his clearance charged down. Leeds United break. Aronson. Nonto in support. Nonto trying to squeeze between two. Cleared away by Viner.
Yeah, great quality there from Willie Gnonto. You know, a little tack through the legs, but Viner was alive to it, wasn't allowing Gnonto to get on the end of that one there, but good build-up play as well from Aronson and Willie Gnonto down this left-hand side.
Just in terms of Leeds United's situation with the injuries at the moment, Ramazani, Daniel Farke was saying he reckons he'll be out for between 4 and 6 weeks. The good news is he doesn't need an operation on that twisted ankle that he picked up against Watford. Ethan Ampadu is going to be out for quite some time, sadly. Ilya Gruev as well. But Max Verber is back in training next week. They're hopeful that he may be available, in fact, for a game pre the last international break of the year. And Junior Firpo, another player, absent today. He, of course, will be back after his suspension for the next game for Leeds United.
You have to give a lot of credit to Daniel Farke and his players. You know, the injury list, big players missing, but still they're competitive, winning games.
Well, they've had the better chances so far, haven't they, in this first half? They've come late on. Dan James and Willie Gnonto bringing out a really good save from Max O'Leary in the Bristol City goal. Rondon. Rothwell thought about switching it out to this near side, but then goes short to Rondon. Gnonto. I think he's gone for goal here, or was that Dan James' cross? I'm not quite sure. Only he will know. Easy for O'Leary on that occasion.
Yeah, it has to be better. No, I agree with you. I think it's one of them going for goal. It's, mind you, I guess when you're aiming for Dan James, you've got to try and put something on it, I guess.
Getting in some good situations though, isn't he, Willie Gnonto? You feel it's just a matter of time. For Bristol City, will they be happy with this first 45, do you feel?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think they've not really worked melee in the goal, but they've seen a lot of the ball. I think defensively without the ball, I think they've been excellent. They do have a threat. Just that final pass, that final little bit of quality just needs to be better.
Rothwell. Just a few seconds for Leeds United maybe to get the ball into the penalty area. Quite sure how aware they are of the time here at Ashton Gate. I'm sure there's a clock somewhere, but it doesn't look like they want to try and create another opportunity. A lot of applause from the home supporters. A lot of emotion prior to kick-off, obviously. And the Bristol City supporters are happy, I think, that their team have lived with arguably the best team in the Championship. Although Sunderland and Burnley fans might argue with that, but certainly Leeds have created the better chances in the first 45 minutes. Dan James coming close and Willie Gnonto having a shot that was well saved by Max O'Leary. At the break though here at Ashton Gate, it's Bristol City 0, Leeds United 0. One or two supporters enjoying the sunshine. The end of October. Clocks are on the move, aren't they? Is it this weekend? I think it is. Well, they are enjoying being here at Ashton Gate, and I think they will take positives from their team's performance in that first half. Benchmark against such a strong team as Leeds United. They haven't really asked too many questions of Ilian Meslier, you have to say, so far. Had to rearrange as well at the back. That was a blow with Ross McCrory going off injured, but I think we'll see a lot of substitutions probably in the second half. Leeds United have got a lot of options going forward. I mentioned Mano Solomon. Matteo Joseph is on the bench as well. Joe Gelhardt. We may just see their new signing as well, Joshua Gilavogi, who they picked up on a free transfer. He was a free agent, that's why they were able to sign him out of the window. Picked him up from Mainz, he left them during the summer. Daniel Farke likes the look of him, and he gives him a bit of flexibility as well. He can play in midfield and in defence as well, and considering the amount of injuries that they have been suffering in recent times, he may feel that he needs that flexibility. But it's the onus on Leeds United, Chris, or is the onus on the home side, Bristol City?
No, I think both teams have very different pressures. You know, you look at Bristol City at home, they've kind of turned the tide, they're making this place a bit of a fortress. Ashton Gate, these fans are excellent to play in front of. You know, I think Liam Manning, can he ask a little bit more of his captain, Jason Knight? You know, I think he's not really seen a lot of ball, usually without the ball, how they're compact, hard to break down. But with the quality they've got now, Max Bird, Jason Knight, the quality that they've got coming in from the wide areas, can they be arriving into the box and be another threat in those attacking areas? I think when you're looking at the Leeds United side, they'd be very surprised if Dan James sees the game out. But like you say, when you've got the likes of Solomon on the bench who needs minutes as well, you know, it's good to have that quality and depth. So I think Liam Manning, the way that he sets up, concedes possession. I don't think you can go against the Leeds side and think you're going to dominate the game with the ball, but in that transition where Bristol City have usually been very, very good and very threatening, I think that's where the qualities let them down, especially in that attacking third, just that final pass. I think without the ball, when you're working so hard, it does take it out of you, but in that transition you have to be a threat still, you have to break your neck to get into those areas. You know, I think with Hirakawa, he likes to get on the ball, he'll drive at players. That gives you a little bit of respite, but also gives you opportunity to get into that attacking third, to be an outlet.
Well, the players returning to the pitch. There is Dan James, who had a couple of sightings, a one-on-one with Max O'Leary, and then that counter-attack that he led, it was him on his own really, with no Bristol City players around him, but just lacking the match sharpness really to get away and give Leeds United the lead in this game. Plenty of options for Bristol City from the bench. Sinclair Armstrong and Fali Mayulu, two out-and-out number 9s. Anis Mehmeti as well, who came off at Stoke in midweek. He can bring some quality from the flanks, but I think, as Chris was saying, Bristol City will feel that if they don't lose here today, it will be a step forward. Anything else might just be a bonus. So away we go in the second half. Bristol City players will have been delighted to have got back to some normality pre-match and at half-time as well. Liam Manning giving their half-time team talk. Just how bold will they be to go out and get this victory that will be a landmark really for them this season. No changes at half-time. This is Bogle playing the ball forward, hopefully looking for Dan James. Rode on with the header. McGuane, well, he didn't get the ball under control straight away, and then he was late with his challenge. Tanaka wants a yellow card. He's got to be careful he doesn't pick one up himself here.
Yeah, there's no reason, is it? Tanaka asking that. Great little bit of quality. Got away from his man. I think McGuane committed for the ball. No intent, really.
Leeds victorious when they came here last season. And they also won the game at Ellen Road. Dan James and Joel Peru were the scorers for them. Carl Naismith got the equaliser at the time for Bristol City. Daniel Farke picking up 6 points last season on the way to that ridiculous points tally that didn't guarantee them promotion. But he's again pleased with the way the season has started in terms of 2 points a game. That's what he's been talking about as Bogle goes forward. Peru, Nonto on hand. Nicely worked, Nonto with an opportunity maybe to get the ball into the penalty area. Rothwell. In towards Bogle. Bird gets it clear for Bristol City. Rodon wins the header.
Just a little bit scrappy there from Leeds. You know, you're wanting a better ball in from there from Rothwell. You know, it was defended well, but picking up second balls, that's what you want on the front foot. I just want Willie Nonto to be a little bit more aggressive. 1v1 scenarios, get at your man, end product. Delivery, Peru's in there, he's waiting for that.
Well, Bristol City last avoided defeat against Leeds United in 2018. The last win was 2016, so they know that this would be a special afternoon for them. But they've got to get themselves some opportunities to score goals. At the moment, it's been Leeds United who've looked the more likely team to score here this afternoon. Strauch. Byram. Starting his first championship game of the season. The man who made his Leeds United debut 12 years ago under Neil Warnock. Those Leeds fans have certainly been through a few managers in their time. Nonto. Bogle. James makes the run over on that far side and just puts his hand up to suggest that the sun is that low that he was struggling to get the flight of the ball. That'll be a free kick to Bristol City.
Yeah, it's fantastic quality, isn't it? Down that left-hand side, good understanding. Higuain asking that question in behind, got there first. Tanaka has received the yellow, because he should have if he never. Higuain's got in behind, there it is.
So a yellow card for Tanaka. He's not one of those close to a suspension. It's described as being like James Bond in midweek by his manager Daniel Farke after his performance against Watford. He saved the world today. It was only 2-1 against Watford, but Daniel Farke was pleased with his performance as the header is won by McNally, and just for a moment there the ball sat up and made it awkward for Meslier.
Well, surely it's been given as a free kick. Naismith, you know, I think he's got every right to go for the ball when it's bouncing. He's just trying to get his body between ball and goalkeeper here. You know, a little backing in, yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing there, isn't it? Hip to hip.
Strauch. So used to him playing out to the left-hand side and finding Firpo. First time this season that partnership hasn't been in play. First time this season that the back five has changed for Leeds United in the Championship. Bogle going forward. James makes the run inside the fullback. Dan James, he'll have to try and pick someone out. It's Nonto off the line. Really good from Leeds United. Dan James involved, and Nonto will feel that maybe he should have got the ball and taken Zach Viner out of the equation on the line.
Well, it's excellent play, isn't it, from Leeds? You've got Jayden Bogle driving forward. The weight of pass for Dan James is excellent. The touch, this little cutback, outstanding. But look at Viner there. What a clearance that is. I understand Nonto has to do better on his left-hand side, hit the target, but he done his job, he hit the target. Viner, excellent defending.
Oh, it was a clever ball, wasn't it, inside the fullback that allowed Dan James to get away. Here's Byram. Tanaka. Peru. Aronson. He's going to shoot. Oh, I'm not sure O'Leary would have got there.
Came through a lot of bodies, didn't it? I think Brendan Aronson knows exactly that as well, and it's just a little one not giving the eyes, a lot of bodies, doesn't really takes a kind of snapshot on, but O'Leary's just kind of watching it. If it hits the target, that's sneaking in at that near post. Very, very unlucky there from Brendan Aronson. Look at this, look at the weight of pass here. Dan James, excellent quality, head up. Nonto has all the time, Viner doesn't switch off. It's an excellent defensive clearance. And I understand he'll probably get criticised, Wilfred Nonto, but he'd done his job, he hit the target, he'd beaten O'Leary. Great defending.
Well, a chance for Bristol City here. Max Bird. Cal Naismith, who scored, as I said, last season against Leeds United. Plenty of height. McNally waits.
Ben, it was at the corner when Roden headed it into the ground, into O'Leary's hands. That was the only time that London was mentioned.
The referee unhappy with something here. Zach Viner and Rothwell. It's a clever one, it's in towards Naki Wells. It's not dissimilar to the goal that Leeds scored recently against Sheffield United, but for the fact that Wells couldn't provide the finish that Strout did in that game.
Well, I'm actually surprised that opportunities came at this time. You know, the way that Leeds defends zonally, that's been on all game. You know, I think you kind of set the trap, don't you? You do it a couple of times, you put it right on the money. But that's when, yeah, that's gone now. That opportunity is gone.
Melier does well, alive to that. He's got two quick runners. The Leeds player's gone down injured here. That doesn't look good. Here's Tanner. Jason Knight. 230th appearance in club football for Jason Knight. A man who's only 23 years of age. Well, Melier just allows the ball to come back to him. Rodon. Bogle. And again, it's a quick ball forward. James had made that little dart forward and then a little dart back, but Bogle on this occasion couldn't pick him out. A double change for Bristol City. Sinclair Armstrong is coming on along with George Earthy. Bogle running into trouble. O'Leary just waited, and well, he's caught late there by Dan James. O'Leary maybe taking the decision away from the referee with the quick free kick. This is Tanner. Hirakawa. Knight. And again, Jason Knight. Nonto just doesn't manage to keep it in.
Just shows you both teams there. Jason Knight, you know, I think the way to pass, excellent little build up, and just, yeah, breaks down in that attacking third. Ball just got away from Willie Monto down this left hand side. He'll be disappointed in himself there. That was a real opportunity to get in behind.
No goals this afternoon for Naki Wells, who scored a couple in midweek at Stoke, replaced by Sinclair Armstrong.
Just a little bit more of a presence, can go a little bit more direct. You know, I think the big man, he's very mobile, he can run in the channels and stretch the pitch, but it's all about the quality. Has to be improved in that attacking third.
Well, Marcus McGuane was something of a left centre select to start the game. I think a lot of people felt it would be George Earthy, who came on as sub, in fact, in the last game against Stoke when they were 2-0 down, and helped get them a point in that game. He's on loan from West Ham. He's been at the club since he was 6 years old. He was the Mark Noble Young Player of the Year last season. This is Bogle. Approaching the hour mark, he just feeds it, but there's too much on that. Frustration again for those Leeds supporters behind the goal.
He's getting a lot of joy though, isn't he? Jayden Bogle down that right-hand side. You know, big threat. It's just that wrong decision. Willie Nonto had presented himself centrally too much, and there's no room for error with that passing behind for Dan James.
Aronson turning well. Byram. A lot of red shirts in front of Nonto at the moment. Byram. Opportunity maybe for Nonto to go down the line. Instead he tucks in to Naka. Goes for goal, took a deflection. That was the concern for Max O'Leary.
It's excellent from Leeds, you know. I think Willie Nonto gets the ball. He occupies 2-3 with the Bristol City players. It creates space for others. I'm surprised Tanaka never took the shot on a little bit earlier. Again, the Brendan Addison one earlier, I think it's like you say, hits the target there. He's causing O'Leary some problems.
Well, the sun may be a concern for the Bristol City defenders and goalkeepers. The ball's played in, and the header, a powerful header, goes over the crossbar. Sam Byram unable to give Leeds United the lead here this afternoon. Another presentable opportunity for the visitors.
He's read the flight of the ball excellently well. He'll be disappointed that he's just not hit the target. You know, because he's seen the flight, just try and steer it goalwards. All the pace was on the ball itself.
Well, he must be thinking now about substitutions, Daniel Farker, I'm sure. Looking for a third promotion to the Premier League. Neil Warnock has managed that. Steve Bruce holds the record at the moment with 4. Daniel Farker will, I'm sure, spent the summer feeling that he should have already been on to 3. Aronson, movement ahead of him. Rodon first to it. Heavy touch by Peru. Aronson tries to win it back. Viner.
It has to be better from Bristol City. I know that Armstrong's on now. You know, he's a presence up there. But look at the quality. You know, Max Bird, when he's the comfortable technical player that he is, get the ball under control. Get those small passes in first. Get the confidence up. Go forward with quality. At the minute, it's fight balls. It's nothing balls. Playing up into that attacking third.
Hirakawa dispossessed by Rothwell. Byram. The Leeds have had a lot of possession in recent times. Quite a bit of it down this left-hand side as well. Strauch finding Rothwell. Leeds looking to try and up the tempo. Byram. Step overs are plenty. He goes down. Referee says goal kick.
Yes, great little bit of quality from Sam Byram there. A little step over. Got away from his man. You're sitting thinking, yeah, that's what you've got to do. You've got to get in the face. Defensively, I think Bristol City are shown how solid they can be. Everyone's organised, communicating well, making it very, very difficult for Leeds United to advance and get any end product in, down either side.
A lot of travelling for Bristol City in recent times. Away at Middlesbrough last Saturday, to Stoke and back, with all that was happening off the field as well. It'd be interesting to see how their fitness levels, their mental levels are in the remainder of this game. Still a lot of minutes to play. Earthy unable to just get that ball over the head.
Yeah, it's important. You know, I think Earthy there, you just want to he just wants to get on the ball. You know, he's trying to just kind of help it on first time. I think he has that quality about him, the space to get it down and try and make Bristol City tick. Just get those passes in. At the minute, it's all Leeds just kind of dominating with the ball. Bristol City just defensively, yeah, in position, but they have to be a threat with it as well. In that transition, they have to be better.
Nonto looking for some movement ahead of him. Has to go back though, and Leeds start again. Rothwell. Byram. Tanaka with the ball in. Away by McNally. Sinclair Armstrong. Trying to get the crowd going as much as anything, and he's done just that and got his side up the pitch.
Well, Jayden Bogle has to get a yellow card here, doesn't he? Knew exactly what he was doing. Armstrong was away, just a little clip of the heels. Leeds, this very, very good in possession. Using the ball very, very well. Overcommitting, and understand, because they're trying to get something out of the game. But it just shows you they've got individuals, Bristol City, that can be a threat. It's a great little tap of the heels as well, isn't it, from Bowden there, Bogle. But I've got to say the referee clocked that one.
Yeah, Leeds have been making another change to their back four. next week against Plymouth Argyle. 5th yellow of the season for Jayden Bogle. An opportunity, and there haven't been too many in the second half, for Bristol City to get red shirts forward, but Nally it was arriving. He's claiming a corner. Not going to get it though. Big centre half, started his season with Burnley. In fact, he was a late signing, one of a flurry of players that left Turf Moor in the final few days of the transfer window. He's played all 90 minutes of every game so far for Bristol City. On loan last season, of course, at Stoke City. They've had problems in terms of defenders this season, Bristol City, in terms of injuries anyway. Poor Rob Atkinson's injury woes have continued. He's building up fitness at the moment. Rob Dickey is back out on the grass, so those two are getting closer. Cam Pring is out injured. Another player who's absent today, and an attacking player for Bristol City, Scott Twine, whose thigh injury means that he misses a 3rd game on the trot. He's another player who can open doors at his best. Yeah, again, it gives credit to the staff and the players at Bristol City as well to be as competitive as they have been over the last couple of weeks as well. Byram. Held up by Tanner momentarily. Byram again. Tanaka. Rothwell. Bogle available over on that far side on the right, but short passes at the moment from Leeds United. Seeing a lot of the ball, aren't they, Leeds United, without really going anywhere? So that's when they've got to use the wide men. Bogle always wants it. Byram always wants the ball. That's the outlet, but it has to get to them quicker. Bristol City are comfortable without the ball, just shuffling across. Everyone understands that defensive unit, the information coming allows that Bristol, the midfield, the attackers, just to sit in and be comfortable. Good defending by Cal Naismith, who's played very little football this season, so it's might be tough for him, although he came on early in that first half. So changes for the visitors. Joel Peru is one of those who depart. No great surprise that he's replaced by Matteo Joseph. And Dan James has run his race this afternoon and replaced by Manor Solomon. Dan James, who probably had the best chance of the game still as we stand at the moment in this 71st minute. That one-on-one he had just before half-time where Max O'Leary came out and did really well. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Matteo Joseph as well. He's done a lot of work in the summer, came back. This is Byram, not offside, and played it in towards the danger zone. And it was the recently arrived Joseph who nearly got on the end of it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Little direct ball in behind, timely run there from Byram. I've got to say, could have scored with his first touch there. Matteo Joseph, right place, right time. Not a bad ball at all. To be fair, he's getting marshalled very, very well, isn't he? Well, he is the substitute who is desperate to play. We saw him come off the bench recently against Sheffield United. He scored in the right in the dying embers of that game to make it 2-0, and the joy in his face was a release, I think, of a lot of frustration. Got an opportunity here in the remaining 20 or so minutes. So too Solomon. Aronson. Rothwell, no real conviction or sweet connection. Kanaka, Solomon took his eye off the ball. It was good football from the Japan international. I think that's one thing with Daniel Farke, when you make that substitution, you want them to have a positive influence straight away.
You know, you're looking at Solomon getting on the ball, trying to make things happen. Mateo Joseph on the end of an opportunity there. So straight away, yeah, they're getting into the attacking third. A little bit more of a threat. That's exactly what you want, that influence.
I thought his quotes midweek were quite interesting, Manor Solomon. He said, I'm not at the top of my game yet, but I'll get there. It's almost like an admission that he's maybe lacking in a bit of confidence. No great surprise with the lack of football he had at Tottenham last year. Managed just 6 appearances due in some part to, or large part to a knee injury. Had that wonderful burst of goals, didn't he, with Fulham, where he scored 5 in 5, and incredibly they are the only goals that he has scored in English football. But there's certainly a player there, but again Daniel Farke is having to juggle his fitness. He will look at the bigger picture though. He was speaking this week about how for him the table only really matters and only really takes shape from November to March. And if Leeds can get to March in a good position, and the likes of Dan James and Nonto and Ampadu are all fit and firing, and his squad is fuller than it is at the moment, then he will certainly fancy his chances, I think, against most squads in the Championship. Long ball over the top. Armstrong will chase, and Meslier is the centre half.
That's what you want. You know, Armstrong is the big striker. Asking that question in behind, just quality down the side, and look where you are. You're getting a throw in the attacking third now, and you can build from there. I'd have liked that one to go in straight into the box, but now you're back to where you started from there, from Bristol City.
Well, Bristol City supporters haven't had too much to cheer in this second half. It's relatively quiet inside the ground. They haven't really created too many good goal-scoring opportunities, you have to say.
If you said to Liam Manning before the game, you're going to take a point from today's game, he would have taken it for sure. And that's what, when you're looking at it now, does he make that decision? At the minute, they're not showing any threat in the attacking third at all. It's just basically, can they nullify the threat of Leeds United?
Well, the visitors looking the more likely to win it, if anyone is. It's Nonto. Bogle wasn't expecting that. He's not offside, though.
Yeah, good quality again from Leeds. Jaden Bogle seeing a lot of the ball this second half, getting into good attacking areas. I've got to say, Bristol City defended well, nullified that cross from the get-go, stopped it from coming in. Just have to defend well.
15 minutes to go. Leeds United unbeaten away from home so far this season, looking to register another win, but they've got to find a goal over the head of Rodon. Aronson, he might shoot from here, he will, and it's just beaten away unconvincingly by O'Leary, you have to say, who's been pitch perfect so far.
Yeah, surprising that one. You know, I think Aronson, okay, there was good effort on target, but O'Leary, that's what he's all about. You know, I think there's not great movement, I would say, in the ball. So Rodon kept it alive. Aronson, I think, can he just put it back in the area? Connected well with it. Yeah, I'm surprised O'Leary's not just taking that one comfortably with 2 hands.
He's looking a little bit frustrated at the moment, isn't he, Daniel Farke? I think he will feel this is a game they should be winning at the moment without being anywhere near their best, I think it's fair to say. But the bigger picture is that they played in midweek and they played last week, and this is a difficult period of the season for Championship squads. So much midweek football, so much travelling. And in Leeds' case, so many injuries and players that, certainly in Dan James's case, you feel not 100% fit. And I think Daniel Farke is just saying, let's make sure we don't lose this. Let's make sure we remain switched on.
Yeah, I think it's all about just being patient with the ball, keep probing, keep asking the question, make sure you've got that energy down both flanks. Like so, Jaden Bogle with understanding, with Wilfred Nonto in front of him, and especially at this left-hand side as well with Byram. Great energy. But like you say, Dan James will feel better with the minutes that he's got in his legs today. It's definitely a plus.
Bristol City set to make changes. Tofali Mayulu is coming on, and so too Elijah Morrison. Hirakawa is off. Particularly good in the first half, wasn't he? But not so influential in the second half. And the other man to come off is Mark Sykes. It'll be interesting if it's two up top for Bristol City. If indeed Mayulu goes up alongside Sinclair Armstrong.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it was two. I think sit in, and then can you play on the counter? Can you get up and support the likes of Armstrong as quick as you can with good possession?
Mayulu must sense that he's currently third in the pecking order. Naki Wells started today. Sinclair Armstrong was first to come off the bench. He's been an unused sub in their last two matches. The French striker. Tanner with the ball forward. Oh, they left it to each other there. Mayulu and Armstrong. Tanner wins it back, and another bit of indecision from Bristol City.
Well, I'm looking at that now, and I think you've called it right. Mayulu's went right up beside Armstrong. You know, obviously one of them will have to kind of drop on the back of whoever it's going to be, if it's going to be Tanaka or Rothwell. But like you say, I'm having it from Liam Manning, the decision. Go and try and be more offensive, more of a threat in that attacking third. Go and try and win the game.
Seize the day. Just over 10 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Well, you struggle to make a case at the moment for Bristol City winning this game on what has happened in the preceding minutes. But needs just a moment to electrify Ashton Gate. Early goals in midweek for both these sides, for and against. Maybe we're going to have late drama here this Saturday lunchtime. Strout wins the header for Leeds. Tanner quickly forward, looking for Sinclair Armstrong. Tanner looking for some movement. Well, Sinclair Armstrong went down, ref said play on. All pretty congested and rough and ready down there. Tanner. Man on, shout the crowd, and Max Bird heard it a little bit too late. Byram. He goes to the ground and the referee gives a free kick. Leeds beginning the day with 22 points from their 11 games. Burnley above them on goal difference only, and Sunderland above them 3 points and a slightly better goal difference as well. Both those sides with home games this afternoon, 3 o'clock kickoffs that their supporters anyway will be expecting them to win. But you just never know. Tanaka. Well, it's inevitable, really, that Leeds were going to miss the likes of Junior Firpo as an attacking player as much as a defender, and also Ramazani especially. They've had moments. Most of the moments have been in the first half. Although we did have a clearance off the line in the second half from Willie Nonto.
I've got to say, it's excellent defending there from strike. Just come over and kind of nullify the Yulu there. But excellent ball down the flank from Bristol City. Could have came a little bit earlier.
How many red shirts do they want to gamble forward here? Just 2 in the penalty area at the moment. Tanner with the throw in. Naismith. Earthy unable to get the ball under control. Tanaka, who always seems to get the ball under control. Bogle. Nonto waits on that far side. Can he deliver again here, Bogle?
It's a difficult one, that, isn't it? Great quality from Jayden Bogle. He's coming inside. It's a little bit too much on it. You know, I think it's... Can he release it to Willie Nonto down that right-hand side? Matteo Joseph comes and presents himself. Just a poor ball in the end. Well, I thought Liza Morrison got all ball there. Yellow cards coming out as well. I'm going to have to see this one again. You know, it was a strong challenge. Did he show studs? It's not a free kick in my opinion. Got all ball, controlled challenge as well. Got to say, I think Jayden Bogle made the most of that one as well.
That's the end of the afternoon for Willie Nonto. Replaced by Patrick Bamford, who's played very little football this season. Less than an hour, in fact, in the Championship. But has an opportunity in the remaining 5 minutes to bring a victory for Leeds United. He'll need some decent service, though.
It's not a bad replacement for me. You know, I'm a big fan of Bamford. Does everything well, in my opinion. Reads the game, intelligent, links up, wins his aerial duels. Asks that question and behind, can run channels, but takes probably 5-6 opportunities to kind of get that goal, and that's when he's at it, and he's unplayable. But we need to see that Bamford back.
Yeah, it does seem strange, doesn't it? Patrick Bamford coming on in the 85th minute, almost as a, not quite a token sub, but a sort of a late resort, as opposed to a first choice. But time waits for no man as Bogle attacks. Aronson. Bamford is in the centre, but the ball won't come to him just yet. He wanted the pass, I think, Bamford quicker from Bogle. All those Leeds supporters behind the goal on their feet, hoping that they might just see one moment that will decorate the afternoon from their point of view. One big chance, one goal, 3 points. Aronson. Tanaka. Aronson again. Nicely done by Morrison. On a yellow card, so he had to be careful. Strauch. Tanaka. Byram. Solomon running into trouble. Byram makes a tackle. He'll be pleased with the way he's come in from the cold, Sam Byram, and just slotted in effortlessly at left back in place of Firpo, who you would assume will be back for the game against Plymouth next weekend. Earthy. Sinclair Armstrong with a pass. I think it was intended for Mayulu.
I've got to say, I think it's Mayulu's movement. Armstrong should have released the ball a little bit earlier. He's asking that question. He can only stay for so long. Then he comes to feet, and that's when the ball went in behind. So it's just a misunderstanding between both players.
Into the final 2 minutes. Leeds United continue to dominate in terms of possession. 16 goal attempts, 5 on target. Byram, Solomon. Being pushed backwards. Here's Strauch. Tanaka. Joseph, bit of space to run into, try to flick it infield to Aronson. Throw into Leeds United, they continue to press. Byram again, movement ahead of him. This is Bamford, played it first time into the chest of Naismith. Here's Leeds number 9 again. Byram. Tanaka. And Rothwell with the effort.
Yeah, moving the ball very well, Leeds. You know, Rothwell running into a lot of bodies there. You know, it would have been a wonder strike to trouble O'Leary from there. You know, can you go, just probably take another touch, commit a defender, try a little bit of quick, little give and go round the edges of the box.
Well, we've had 90. How many more? And there's your answer. Rothwell finding Byram. Leeds unable to play a good pass there. It's not a bad point for Leeds United, obviously, but I suppose bearing in mind the way the Championship was last season, they may look at this as 2 points drop.
No, I think as dominant as they have been today, I think, yeah, they'll look at it 2 points drop, but then when they do the debrief and they analyse, this is a good Bristol City side they're up against today that's on very good form in itself and had a decent home form as well. So, you know, that point will be suffice.
And a good point for Bristol City. It will continue their unbeaten run, this unbeaten run that stretches back a decade. It'll, providing they don't concede, go on to 11. And it's a solid base to work from. Although, as I said, it's Sheffield United who come up next. The fixtures do get slightly harder for Bristol City, who've generally played teams from the lower half of the table so far. They will extend their unbeaten run to 7. Bogle. Earthy, is there an option for him ahead of the ball? Sinclair Armstrong is that option. But they're going backwards at the moment, Bristol City. Supporters in this main stand are desperate for their team to get forward. Tanner. There's no real kitchen sink being thrown by either side, is there, in the remaining seconds of this game?
Yeah, I just thought it was a real opportunity for George Tanner to just take his man on down that right-hand side, a lot of space to run into, and like you say, just hang one in there. You've got two players, very aggressive, that will win those aerial duels and just play in the right areas.
And that's full time. It was probably a day that Liam Manning was dreading, but it's a day that's virtually over now, and he can be so proud of his supporters before kick-off and proud of his team in the 90 minutes. They've held a strong Leeds United side here today. Didn't create too many opportunities, but their goalkeeper Max O'Leary was in really good form, keeping out the likes of Nonto, especially in the first half, and then Dan James as well. Zach Finer making an important clearance off the line for Bristol City after Nonto had sent his shot goalwards. Leeds having the better opportunities, but Bristol City, all things considered, will be happy and relieved.